It's been a long time since I posted a video. In fact, it was November of, what was the date? It was November 2021. And in that post, we had just gotten PET scan results, and they said that it didn't appear that the nodules they were seeing in my lungs were cancerous. So I'm going to take my glasses off. So we were super happy about that. And we moved on from there and went through the holidays and had a fabulous time and had two grandbabies born, and super excited about that. And then fast forward to February 2022, and those nodules continued to grow, and they were growing a lot quicker than they had been before, which was a real cause for concern. In the PET scan, the statement was they didn't perform like cancer. Obviously, they couldn't rule it out. And so we just went forward with that good news for the time being. But in, like I said, February, the nodules had grown quite a bit, like exponentially. Still really small. Still, the largest one is 15 millimeters, so still quite small. But unfortunately, these nodules are in both of my lungs and in the upper and lower lobes. So whatever happens and whatever they become, surgery is not an option for me. So then moving forward to, and you can hear my granddaughter in the background, so just, she's a little bit of my joy in this world. But so moving forward in March, we finally decided that it was time to attempt to biopsy because the nodules were large enough. Unfortunately, the larger ones were in fact pretty hard to get to. In a lung biopsy, they go after it a couple of ways. They do a pulmonary biopsy where you go to a pulmonologist. They take you to the hospital. You are put to sleep, and they go down your windpipe into your lungs and try to reach the nodule that's the closest that they could think that they can get to. So I went through that procedure, and unfortunately, he was unable to actually reach a sample or to get a sample. So then we moved on from there, and we have to go to a more invasive method, which is a biopsy with a CT scan. And so the CT scan biopsy you're awake for, and it is a needle, and they go through your back and into your lung, and through your back into your lung and into the nodule, if they can reach it. And there are situations where they cannot get to it, and you are awake the whole time. You're feeling pressure. They deaden the skin, but unfortunately you can still feel the pressure. And when they puncture your lung, which is what they do to get to that nodule, it is painful, and you have to just hold your breath literally while they are trying to take a sample. And I want you to know that God is in everything and in every time. We had to keep rescheduling this needle biopsy every day. It was scheduled every day for business days, 8 business days. Every single day they scheduled it, but the machine that they needed to use to do this was down. They're waiting on a part. It's in Paris, I know. And so every day I'm scheduled to be there the next morning, and every evening I get a phone call saying, I'm sorry, we're not going to do this tomorrow. So the waiting was excruciating because we knew this was probably the only way we're going to get some sort of answer on what these nodules possibly were. And there was a chance that they weren't cancerous, so we just wanted some answers. And if they were cancerous, we wanted to know and be doing something about it, So I believe that it was God's hand in this, because the radiologist that was doing this procedure didn't give up. The nodule was blocked by my rib. He was having a really hard time getting to it. There were people consulting, trying to figure out how they could do this. And at first he said, I think we're going to have to just say we can't do it, and we're not going to know what this is. And I'd resigned myself to that was a possibility, that we were going to spend more time waiting on God to say, yeah, it's time to know what this is, but he would not give up, and he and the tech that was helping him and myself, we were just determined we were going to do everything humanly possible to get to this. So we tried a different method where I would have to exhale all of my breath and empty my lungs the best I could, and then hold it there until he could try to get a sample. And these people, bless their hearts, they held their breath with me literally. They were, when I would exhale, they would do the same thing. And then we were all holding our breath so that they knew when I absolutely was going to have to take an inhale. And he was able to get a sample. And unfortunately, the cancer is back. So, and I've known for several months, but it's still, to say those words out loud, is difficult. I have stage 4 metastatic anal cancer. It is not a different cancer. It is the same cancer. It has metastasized in my lungs. And for whatever reason, that's the organ that anal cancer tends to go to, is your lungs. So I actually am in a new treatment. Currently, I'm doing immunotherapy, and it's a drug called Keytruda, which they advertise quite a lot for non-small cell lung cancer. We have no idea if this is going to work, but since I'm having no symptoms from the cancer in my lungs, I'm not coughing or coughing up blood or having difficulty breathing or anything like that, the decision was made to try something other than chemotherapy. So I won't go into a lot of detail because I've kind of got rattled on here for 7 minutes and nobody wants to listen to me just rattle. But the Keytruda teaches is hope to help your immune system recognize when your cells are mutating into cancer cells, because cancer cells, they they split and reproduce and grow really quickly. So this is supposed to teach hopefully put a flag on those cells so that your immune system will recognize them and try to kill them, because normally we all have cancer cells. I don't know if you know that. We all have cancer cells, because what a cancer cell is a cell that you're regenerating in your body that something goes wrong. And normally your body knows then to destroy it, because our bodies regenerate all of our cells over and over, some faster than others. But you're a whole new body, a whole new cell, all new cells, quite about yearly, pretty much. But cancer cell, and if something in your cells know to self-destruct over time so they can be replaced with the new cells, but cancer cells won't do that. Instead of self-destructing, they just replicate themselves and quickly, and that's what metastasizes into a tumor. Layman's explanation of what that is. But since these things are fooling your body into thinking they're supposed to be there, that's how they continue to be allowed to develop and do that. So the Keytruda is supposed to remove the sheep's clothing from the wolf that's in your body. So that being said, I have been taking Keytruda treatments. It's an infusion that I take once every 3 weeks. It takes about 45 minutes, which is fantastic because chemo takes a long time to go in. And I've been tolerating it pretty well. I have some muscle aches, some fatigue, some sun heat sensitivity, and a few joint pain aches. But overall, I'm tolerating the treatment incredibly well. The one thing about Keytruda, though, or any of these immunotherapies, is they sometimes get your immune system going crazy so that it attacks healthy things, healthy organs like kidneys, or can cause lung infections. Or in my case, I don't know if maybe you've noticed while watching this video, my right eye that you're looking at here is super puffy and looks kind of lazy, like I have a hood over my eye a little bit. I can't open it any wider. It's because this is all swollen. My eyelid is pretty swollen. But what the Keytruda is doing is attacked my thyroid, and your thyroid, I don't know if you're aware, but it can affect some of your vision a little bit, and it also can make your eyes feel like you have like sand in your eyes, which is what I have been feeling in this right eye for quite some time, to where I'm like rubbing my eyes and itchy eyes, and actually little did I know that was my thyroid doing that. So yeah, I have a little wink constantly, but which is bizarre because I look at myself and it's like, what is going on? But anyway, if you notice that, that's what's going on with my eye. And hopefully I've been to an endocrinologist, so now we've added this specialist to the bunch, and he's monitoring my thyroid, and I've been added some thyroid medication. So that being said, I just want to let you know that my upcoming thing is I have my first scan since they did a baseline scan in April, and April 13th I took my first Keytruda infusion, and I've had one every 3 weeks since then. I'm about to, tomorrow I take my 6th infusion, and then Monday, August 1st, I will have my first scan since beginning this treatment. And you know, if you Google, which is stupid, but if you Google it, it's like, oh, with Keytruda or with these immunotherapies, 30% of the people with cancer were still alive in 10 months. So that's some scary figures. But I'm not a figure, I'm a person. And I have a life and a family. And I'm more than a statistic. And I believe in miracles. And I believe that if it's God's will, that I have a long time left on this planet, because I have stuff I need to do. So Monday, we will see if this is working. And thankfully, it's early and things are small. I don't know why I cried. Things are small, and I have other treatment options. I mean, chemo is always there, but chemo and Keytruda have about the same survival rate for cancer patients. But Keytruda doesn't make you so sick and doesn't ruin your quality of life. So I'm thankful I'm able to take this, and I want to continue to be able to use this therapy instead of having to do something really terrible like poison myself with chemo. But know this, I will do whatever it takes. And I ask that if you are a praying person, that you will pray for me. And that you will pray that when they scan me Monday, August 1st, 2022, that the results come back and there is no detectable cancer, because that is a possibility. Because there are a small percentage of people that Keytruda pushes the cancer back so much that they can't even see it anymore. So that's my prayer and that's my ask. If you could do that. Thank you guys for following along. Thank you for praying for me. I love you all. Thanks. Bye.